Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to MehdinaTV.
We gotta eat Pizza Hut.
So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing my challenges as a revert Muslim. Before getting into that, I do want to share an app that we've come across. It's called Muslim Kids TV. And this app is actually used for kids to help them learn about Islam, but it's actually very useful for reverts as well. So in this app, you'll be able to learn a variety of different things, including the Prophet's stories. You learn Arabic. I was even reading about zakat, so the rules in Islam, and much more.
Yeah, and it's a very nice tool for people that are just starting up with Islam or people that want to learn a little bit more. And I actually really like the Prophet stories, not gonna lie. I know it's for kids, but adults can use this app too. So if you haven't already, check out that app. If you guys can afford Netflix, you can afford this app. It's awesome. All right, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. The button's right there. Let's get into the video.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to make this video is just to make non-Muslims and born Muslims aware of some of the challenges that reverts face.
Like, not just from non-Muslims, they also face these challenges by Muslims themselves.
Right.
Because like, it's kind of a weird transition though, because like, you're going from a non-Muslim to a Muslim, but you're not quite like the born Muslim, and you're not like a non-Muslim anymore. So it's like in the middle of everything. It's
there's an in-between stage, but I'm going to be talking specifically of my challenges through that conversion process.
Okay.
So the first challenge I face is that you cannot be white and be Muslim. This is something that I was kind of brought up to think by like my parents. When I first started telling them that I became a Muslim, they're like, there's no way that they're gonna accept you. You're gonna go to the mosque and they're gonna be like, get out of here, you don't belong. So there is kind of this whole like stigma over you cannot be white and be Muslim. And I'm just here to say that that's so far from the truth, because when I went to the mosque, I had a completely different experience. And in Islam, it is encouraging of all people to become Muslim, no matter your skin color or ethnicity.
And it's funny because a lot of people on social media actually think he was born Muslim and that he's just lying about being white. Like, what?
That trips me up too.
It's so confusing because it's like, oh, you're a Muslim, you automatically cannot be white. You can't be white because you're Muslim. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. How come a person can't be like a convert? Like, why? Why do you have to label them as like a born Muslim just because they look Muslim now?
Yeah, their look shouldn't dictate anything. Muslims come in all shapes, sizes, colors, ethnicities, so that should not determine whether you can be Muslim or not. I don't get why that's so hard, but hopefully we're trying to break that stereotype that yes, you can be white and be Muslim.
He's white, guys.
I'm an example of it.
He's white.
Alhamdulillah. Number 2.
Not Arab.
Getting pulled into the sects of Sunni or Shia.
Sunni, Shia, Sunni, Shia, Sunni, Shia. Like, what are you?
Okay, this one is especially for all the born Muslims out there. They need to understand that when we first become Muslim, we're not initially, our first thought is on, I want to be Sunni or I want to be Shia. The first thing is we want to get the basics down. And this doesn't necessarily happen overnight. It can take weeks, it can take months, it can take years. As someone who's been a convert for over 2 years, I'm still learning about it. And I'm not saying that the Sunni Shia thing has no place in Islam, of course, but at the same time, it's something that I feel like owes a lot of years of studying to learn more about that. And like, I'm still even now trying to learn more of the basics in general of Islam.
I feel like as born Muslims, we should understand that when a person is a convert, they need time to even learn about just the pillars of Islam, or how to pray, or how to like understand the concept of what Islam is before you can bring up the concept of Sunni or Shia.
So I don't feel like that's helpful to introduce a revert to right away. It's something that may be important down the line, but it's not. They're trying to get the basics down first. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, just let them get to it, guys. Let them come to whatever truth they find. Yeah. Let them have their time.
And don't push your beliefs on them either.
And if you really want to talk about the different sects, then do it with wisdom. There's always wisdom. Don't make it so that you're telling them to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Talk to them about it. Explain it to them. Like, explain both sides,
Yeah, because even when I talk to new reverts, a lot of them are like, I'm not ready for that. I don't want to talk about that kind of those topics whenever they do come up. So it's best to just like hold off if you know the person's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Next challenge, oh man. Your wife brainwashed you to become Muslim. This is one of the most infuriating things we have to deal with on like a daily basis. It's very frustrating.
Guys, how come, like, why does he need to be brainwashed? Like, doesn't he have a mind of his own?
I'm a grown man.
And like, if I were to brainwash him, shouldn't I be brainwashing other people? Why haven't more people converted from me? Like, I don't even talk about my religion to others.
That's the thing, right?
Like, the only time I even talk about religion is like on social media, and that's like very basics. Like, and I'm not pushing my religion on anyone. I'm just talking about my experiences, because we're not scholars, guys. And like, me brainwashing, like, that's a concept that I myself can't comprehend, because I don't think I've ever pushed my beliefs on anyone. I don't like doing that.
No.
I don't like when people do it to me, and I don't like when I do it to people. If anything, this man tried to convert me.
Okay, that's a separate topic. But I need to address this because it is an accusation on you, and that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I have to live with people every day saying I'm spineless, I'm brainwashed, I can't think for myself, it's such an insult, it's so disrespectful. And it's not just me who deals with this. So many people I feel are so Islamophobic. They can't accept the fact that someone actually is passionate and interested in the religion and wants to come to it to themselves, because they haven't taken the time themselves to research and understand the true beauty of Islam.
Yeah.
My wife never pushed Islam on me. She was only there if I ever had questions, but I even told her, I'll never convert for you, I'm going to learn myself, and I'll ask you questions when I feel like it.
And I told him myself, if you're going to do it for me, don't. I never wanted anyone to convert for me, ever. And
it's not just that. I told you directly, I'll never convert.
But I told you myself as well, that don't convert for me.
Yeah.
Because I had one example in my life where I saw a convert getting married to a Muslim, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what their intention was. Like, I'm sure like their intention was pure. But from what I understood at that time was, I never want anyone to convert for me.
It's okay if someone inspires you to become Muslim through like their good actions and character, but you have to take the initiative yourself.
Exactly.
And don't judge someone's intentions for converting, because you don't know.
Exactly. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows.
Yes. Here's another one. So the fourth challenge is you're going against your family and your country. This is another one I have to deal with a lot, mainly from like the experience I've had from like my family, thinking that I'm going against them. I've had, Armenians coming to me and saying, you went against your country, you're a traitor. You can't be Armenian and be Muslim at the same time, which I think is ridiculous.
But then Armenians also say you can't be Armenian if you don't know Armenian, like if you can't speak.
If you can't
Armenian.
speak, there's a lot of Armenians who say if you can't speak the language, you're not one of us.
Like, that's...
Guys, it's still my blood, it's still my ethnicity, I'm proud of where I'm from, but at the same time, I can still be Muslim. And there are Armenians who have reached out to us who are Muslims and hiding it because they can't tell their families and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd be surprised. And no matter where you're from, you can be Muslim, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just want to add to the point of like going against my family. At the end of the day, I tried to keep my family as informed as I could. I'm a grown man, I can make my own decisions, and there just needs to be a respect that I can choose to be a different religion. That does not mean I'm going against anyone. I'm my own person, I have my own connection with God. Everyone has that right to make their own choice and what they want to believe in.
Exactly.
This one is a little different. This challenge is about halal and haram food.
Before we start on this, I just want to let you guys know that this is the man that would tell me before his conversion, he would tell me that he would never go into a halal store.
Never.
Which made no sense to me because I saw him eating halal food on campus.
I didn't know, I was just eating it, but...
So I asked him, so you're never gonna enter a halal food store? And he's like, never. And I'm like, but you eat that. And he's like, but that's not halal. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, but you eat that as well. And he's like, but that's not halal either. And I'm like, yes, it is. So it didn't make sense to me. For people that are watching us, can you guys let us know in the comments why you would choose not to eat halal food? I had a manager where I worked, and she would buy halal meat because she told me it was just easier to clean and easier to cook with.
Yeah.
That's literally what she told me. And a lot of people actually tell me that once they switch to halal, they can't go back to haram because it's just, they just feel like it's healthier, and they feel like it's easier to cook. And these are people that aren't Muslim. So, you know, halal food isn't just for Muslim guys, just making that clear, making it out there.
And to people like me who are scared to try halal food, just give it a try. You know, you won't be harmed, and you actually might be surprised. Before, as a non-Muslim, I could go in the grocery store and literally eat whatever I wanted. I just grabbed the mac and cheese off the shelf. I'd grab all the meats, all the chicken fingers, whatever. But then when I became a Muslim, things changed. I had to start reading the ingredients and like throwing out all my haram food and switching up my diet. I looked up to you and others who would help me learn about the diet. So there is definitely a shift with that. But once you get used to knowing which ingredients you're not supposed to eat, then it gets easier. Next challenge. People think I will convert back to Christianity or like change my faith.
Yeah.
There is like a stigma over converts that they can't make up their mind. There are definitely people who can change their faith because of a crisis situation, but that's a stigma. There are plenty and plenty of reverts who convert because they've actually done their research, actually learned about it, and they don't get the credit for it. I spent months learning about Islam, answering those questions I had uncertainty or doubt over, and then I made the decision when I was ready, and that's why I'm never wavering on my faith. I've been firm, alhamdulillah, on Islam since I converted, and have no plans of ever changing that, inshallah. So,
Inshallah.
okay, next point is having understanding from people around me. So I'll explain what that means. When you become a Muslim, especially in a situation like I was in, you have everyone around you being Muslim and you're like the one non-Muslim, right?
Yeah.
And then you're worrying, what are my friends gonna think? What are my family gonna think? How do I fit into this new world? Okay, well, oh wait, I can't celebrate Christmas this year. There's like so much going on where your identity is changing and these people around you don't understand because they're born Muslim. So there is an isolating factor to it, especially like say you're alone on Christmas and your family's all celebrating without you.
Yeah.
That can be pretty like isolating, depressing, but I feel like for me, I had a strong enough faith where that got me through everything because I understood my faith so much that it was like, you know what, this is just a test for me. I need to be patient, and we have our own holidays anyway.
Yeah.
So I just feel like surrounding yourself with Muslims as a revert is really helpful. Like there's a very warm and supportive Muslim community that can support you if you're going through like those difficult times as a revert.
Yeah, and I think with reverts, we should just be extra supportive because they need that. Because we don't know what they're going through with their like new faith, with their new identity. So we should always be sensitive about what they're going through and just help them out.
Another challenge that people don't know about that I faced was I actually had to change my entire career around when I became a Muslim. So as a Muslim man, you have a financial responsibility over your family.
Yeah.
And I had left home to pursue graduate studies, but was making a less than minimum wage salary. And I wanted to be able to provide the best quality of life for my wife and potential future children. So I actually had to completely change my career around. And I feel like for born Muslims, they know, like the men know what their responsibility is, so they search for certain job opportunities where they can actually support their family.
It's not just that, like for a lot of Muslim men, their families actually support them as it is.
That too.
So they have that support already, you know? So if they
Yeah.
get married, they have their family supporting them, where they can actually like have a career built up. So they don't need to like, you know, do any changes in their career. Like even if they pursue a long career, they can't because they have their family supporting them.
Yeah.
But in our case, it was different because you didn't really have family support. So you kind of had to, in ways, change your career path. Just to clarify, I didn't push anything on him. He made this decision himself. We both work. So like that wasn't the deciding factor in anything.
No. Final challenge is pursuing relationships, going from dating to learning halal courtship.
Dating to halal courtship. How did that feel for you? From like going from like being able to meet the girl whenever you want to not being able to do that with me, because like when you proposed to me, we couldn't do that. Like we couldn't date.
Yeah, I think it was difficult, but also there were some things that I understood. So as someone who converted to Islam, I was learning, but then I also proposed to you a while after.
Yeah.
So it was like trying to learn everything and then also understand that we can't date.
Yeah.
So trying to be able to set boundaries is difficult for some reverts because they may be used to like dating and even having like physical contact or even just certain dating dynamics that you can't have in Islamic relationships, right?
Yeah. On top of that, you had to meet my dad. You had to come and meet my my dad. Like that's probably something you weren't used to at all.
Absolutely. So in the dating environment, what we would do is like you could date someone for 5-10 years and you meet the family a few years later or whatever, or even that same year. But in Islamic courtship, it's much different. So when you want to get married with someone, you can set up a meeting with the family right away. It almost felt like an interview, like who are you, what's your job, what do you do, this and that.
Yeah.
But it's a lot quicker because you're not supposed to delay the marriage process so you can make things halal, right?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of like go on the fly and adjust with everything as we went. So it was overwhelming, but alhamdulillah, I tried to go along with it as best I could and it worked out.
It worked. I mean, like we're married.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alright guys, so those are all the challenges that I faced as a revert. I really appreciate you hearing that. And coming up soon, inshallah next week, I'm going to be posting a video about why I converted to Islam, so stay tuned for that.
And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. The button is right down there. And remember, we post every week, so turn your post notifications on so you can get notified. We've also been posting a lot of shorts, so I hope you guys are liking those because they're very quick. Please don't forget to like this video. Also, if you guys want to connect with us, our socials are right up here. Right up here.
There.
Right up here.
Here.
Anyway, guys, until next time.
Assalamu alaikum.